sponsor artists from overseas. Only pocket change for we Vincies. They just mama Cain, the artists. We don't like me. Take somebody blues spend money.
9.9 WEFM. WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All right, so time right now is 7:45, and we are back with you for another commentary segment here on our Activated Mornings program. And already on the line, we have Mr. Kingsley De Freitas. Kingsley, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning. I really enjoyed that segment this morning when I talk about our experience with covenant. It's really good. And you may not know how that can help young people who is heading to the exam point and they listen. But it is important that what you did. It's really important, and I enjoy that.
All right.
But what happens? Everywhere you go in sentence and again is once you open your voice and the people recognize you and read you. I am convinced, and listening to most Vincents that I spoke to the last couple of days, including yesterday, that their minds are already make up which political party and individual candidate they are voting for. The reason why I'm saying so, you will hear people say on the ground, too long in that, and they're referring to I've gone to have prime ministership for 24 years, and they say, it's time for a change. While I've gone to have is doing his best. You think that a change of leadership and a new prime minister will bring some difference to the landscape and what's happening in the and again. And I tend to believe that majority of Vincents have already make up their mind who they're going to vote for in the next year election. Whether I'm going to call it before next year. It is good to call in December, and I have an indication why I say that, okay?
The 6th?
Yeah, you remember, I'll tell you so. And here what happens. There is a thing going on where people still discussing the CVI after to have gone to selling passport. I don't think that topic is going to make a difference. And Vincent and minds whether they're going to determine if they're going to vote for the NDP and the ULP, because we're going to start making it out that the Dr. Friday and the NDP want to sell our citizenship and passport. I don't think that is going to register on the electorate mind in the election. I think what is going to register is the immediate plans of both political parties after the next election. And I am hoping that Vincent shall go out and vote for the party of the choice. And he will some of them will say that I understand that.
You're talking to yourself here, Kingsley. Hold on. You're talking to yourself here?
I am going to go out and vote this time because I want to be.
Give me a round of applause.
The majority when they say that the NDP win the next election 8-7 or 9-6, okay? I want to be in the corner of the NDP when they say that we said we are going to have some prime ministership and then we go to start to put everything for them to have a transition, but that will be too late. But here's something, man. You do your own survey and you will hear that people saying they already make up their mind. And let me tell you something, that's a concern knows that, because here what happens. You're only going to give 2 weeks, 2 weeks to move to campaign. Because he don't understand why it is, and he has enough experience to know after 5 consecutive terms, people get weary of you, and the indication of that took place in our election where the ULP lost the popular vote. And you have somebody around over 25 years like Montgomery Daniel, who has not made an impression. And people still hoping that the ULP will win the next election. No. That is why I vote in this time. And I have a wonderful day, and thanks for having me today, okay?
All right, wait, don't run off just yet. I have a question. So
Yes.
you're saying that Vincies have already made up their minds, but what is like the age group of these persons who you believe have already made up their minds?
When I talk about the ones I spoke to is between 30 and 45.
30 and 45.
45, yeah, those are the ones who already make up their mind. I am still waiting to get some definite answer from the young people because the LP saying that what taking place to the education revolution and so the young people is going to make a difference. But here's something. They spoke about the importance of children and education. Once the children say there's a change taking place in feminism, the change is going to manifest itself. And it's going to manifest itself when it says that Dr. Gonsalves is sent you to go home, Friday is sent you to be Prime Minister. Okay? That's
Okay. All right. Have a good one today, Kingsley, and thanks for not abandoning us this morning.
Well, I got a call from Susan that I have to inform you when I can't make it, so I'll do that.
Lovely. You could always message me, WhatsApp me. You could always do that.
Yeah.
All right. Take care. Have a safe one today. And that was Mr. Kingsley De Freitas with his commentary. And he's of the opinion that Vincies have already made up their minds on who it is that they are voting for. But with Kingsley's quote-unquote survey, it's for persons between the ages of 30 to 45 who he has spoken to. My whole thing is I want for Kingsley to do a survey of persons between 18 and when he stopped at 30, so 18 to 29. All right? Do that survey because I think the younger persons is who probably need the convincing at this time on as to why they should go out and vote, why their vote matters, and for them to actually decide on who it is they're going to vote for. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, it has some 30 to 45-year-olds in that category too. But all right. So any thoughts, Dianna?
No, because what I was also thinking is about the younger population whose minds seemingly have not yet been made up, and you mentioned that already. So
okay. All right. All right, and we are sticking with the topic of politics this morning. Love it or hate it, we have to talk about it, all right? Because we can't escape it. Politics is about us, the people, all right? So we are talking about plans. The plans that both parties have for Central Leeward, all right? So this is recent information coming out. So with regards to the government side of things, a release from the API states, I think it's probably from the press conference recently, that there are more hotel rooms coming to SVG. So St. Vincent and the Grenadines over the next 2 years, certainly by the end of 2027, I reasonably expect that we will see on the western side of the island in excess of 700 quality hotel rooms, all right? He's saying that there are 2 hotels, one of them, which they are working on this. And, well, you saw that announced by Adam Stewart about beaches. There would be 350 to 370 rooms with a plan to raise much higher than that. All right. So this is in relation to Sandals Hotel. There's also plans for there to be the construction of the Marriott Hotel. So we see from the government side that hotel rooms are going to be increased, and they are going to be increasing on the western side of the country, which is on the Leeward side. All right. So that was the announcement they made by the PM. And I'm happy. Every time I talk about this, I am happy. Of course, I'm happy to see more hotel rooms. But again, we have one road. One road. We have one road on the Leeward side into Kingston and out of Kingston. We have one road. And I am not going to go down that road again today. I'm going to end it there. But happy for all of this development that's happening. Happy that there are going to be more persons, more visitors to the Leeward side of the island. But we have to remember to put certain things in place so that we don't either overwhelm the road network, or in the event of an incident or an accident, that everybody, nationals and the tourists, don't end up being cut off. Inconvenience. I mean, not say cut off, but inconvenience. All right. So, yeah. All righty. So that's that point. And with regards to the NDP side, and I am reading this from Eyewitness News. Well, I took excerpts out of it. Can't read the whole article, right? So Conroy Huggins has unveiled his vision 2025 to 2035 for Central Leeward. And some of the plans that he has indicated, and I like when constituency reps or persons who are vying to be constituency representatives, well, members of parliament for constituencies, actually give us a list of the plans that they have, right? So, in time to come, if they do get elected for the position, you could go back and say, I make reference to such and such, on date such and such, at time and such, at location such and such, all right? So Conroy Huggins in his 10-year constituency plan, and you notice how optimistic he is as well, because it wasn't even a 5-year plan, it's a 10-year plan, all right?
The teacher in him, they're making his thing a little bit specific,
Yeah, this is confidence. This is not to say I'm just going to be there for 5 years. Come on. I am going to be there for at least 10 years. So he made his 10-year plan, all right? More power to you, Conroy Huggins. All right, so these are some of the plans that have been outlined for the constituency, as quoted by him, Conroy Huggins, right? So he says that there's going to be repair to the Barley police station, to restore the post office, repairing a road in Botland Glass, already developed. He's already developed a Central Leeward sports development plan. He says that there are 3 major playing fields in the constituency that will need to be resurfaced, fenced, lit, and seating installed. He also says that there are going to be corrective measures to the Layu Jetty, as well as the river defense in Cain Grove community. All right. So those are just a few of a majority of the plans that he outlined. So his constituency members, if they feel encouraged, of course, they can vote for him on account of these things and maybe much more from the constituency level and by the party level by extension. And yeah, that's what it is at this time. Any thoughts?
Well, I was just like you, I was noticing how specific he was in talking about, the amount of time, his 10-year plan, also, insinuating that he's going to have, 4 terms. I like how he laid out his plans, as you said, so that we can go back and check on the plans and see what was said and what was not done and so on. Because I was looking for some other plans and I didn't really find much, from before. So I was trying to do a little comparison to see, okay, what if this person before, what plans did the person before have, and did they put those plans into play? Yeah. But I didn't really find much information. Again, I was researching in a limited time, so I didn't really find much information. But Huggins has some interesting things here. There seem to be some of the things that persons have been talking about. He did mention that he has been doing consultations with people. I like when persons in positions of authority sort of consult with people, to some extent. I like when you consult with the people, talk to them, get to know if you're going to represent them, find out what they want and what affects them. So I like that. So I'm guessing that out of that, he came up with those things as well. You mentioned the things in Layu as well.
For Layu, there is the jetty, corrective measures to the Layu jetty.
And he said the sea defense as well. He said the sea defense needs to be repaired, and a river defense in Cain Grove. Yeah, so the plans ain't sung then bad, Senor Huggins. We just...
What it is for me, I like when they give ideas of doable plans, because if you go above and beyond, or you sound like you're a bit too elaborate, people are going to be judging you based on these things, right? So for the greater part, they might not be so extravagant in terms of maybe trying to build brand new things in a sense. They do sound doable. I don't believe that should he be elected into office, that they will stay just at these things, but at least it is a starting point of doable actions or things that can be seen, that are visible within the communities. So yeah, all right.
Somebody here is saying I can hear a lot of joy in your voice over this guy. It may not be what you're thinking, you know. It may be something else, you know. May not be exactly as you're thinking, but yeah.
It's not joy. And the thing of it is that it is election time and we are not supposed to be choosing sides. So if Conroy has or NDP has unveiled their plans, they have unveiled their plans. We are telling the people. We spoke about what the ULP spoke about or what the government is looking to do. We're speaking about what the NDP is looking to do. So yeah, it's for people to make up their minds. We're here to do that. We're just here to bring you information and discuss the topics as presented. All right. All right.
One thing I noted in trying to find out what plans Brewster had before, one of the things he had from the last election was a clip, something called CLIP, the Central Leeward Impact Project. To be very honest, I don't think that I've ever heard of that. It may have, but I'm gonna go look. If anybody has any information on CLIP, if you could just call us or send us some WhatsApp messages, that would be great.
What was it? What is it?
Central Leeward Impact Project, which was supposed to include things like infrastructure development, sustainable employment, the training of youths, and so on. Yeah.
Before I say anything, because somebody going to pull me off, so let me leave it because let me just say it sounded very abstract. It wasn't very specific, and if it's not very specific, then this is what it is that I meant when I said, well, I like when people say exactly what it is that they want to do. Don't speak in abstract. I can't hold you to something that is abstract. All right, so. That is what we mean. That is what I meant when I said, yeah. Let me head on out. All right, so the time here in SVG, it is 8:01, and our time check came through the compliments of New Haven Funeral Home.
Death is a fact of life.